guys, welcome back to Free Guys from Mike. Obviously, I'm joined by Tina and Jake like usual, and later on we'll be joined by Alex, hopefully. Right, how are you both doing?
Well,
Good.
I didn't have a massive shit this time, which is an improvement, I must say. But
Dude,
I've heard you've been having some bowel problems.
Well, let's not talk about this.
No,
how
we
does
need
your
to know.
bowel system work?
We're not talking about it.
Genuinely, because
Anyway,
you'll go to the
let's
toilet
address
and then
the
you'll just
elephant in the
know.
room.
you'll come back and then like 2
The
minutes
elephant
later
in the
you'll go
room
back.
is Sam's bowel
No,
problem.
the elephant in the room is that we are not in person anymore.
Yeah, who
The
cares?
COVID I care because it sounds bad. The COVID restrictions have been heightened again, so
Basically,
Yay.
Boris Johnson's a twat, and
so
he
he's
doesn't
gone.
let us record a
Fuck
podcast.
you. He actually did it to spite us personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
he
actually
watches us
know
and he was
Boris.
like,
You watch it?
What a lad Boris is. We know Boris like personally.
Yeah. And
I've met him.
He was just being a
really?
bit of a
Where?
wanker.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna spite you. I'm gonna make a better podcast than you."
Yeah. So
Where's this
Calling it
podcast?
one Boris,
we
three
got-
mics.
we're doing
Damn.
hashtag boycott Boris one mic. Anyway.
Oh,
So
Okay.
our first
Yeah,
topic
yeah,
of today: global warming. Obviously, as a lot of people know, the David Attenborough documentary came out on Netflix, and it properly addresses the issues that are going on. I thought it was pretty good. Jake, you also watched it, didn't you?
I did also watch it, and I think the first thing I'd like to start like talking about is global warming. Let's all be honest. It doesn't actually exist. It's all a myth.
Obviously.
It's a myth made by the government to like convince us to stop using plastic because it's too expensive. It's that simple.
Well, okay. So like all the increase in heat over the years that doesn't matter. That's not true.
Yeah,
That's
basically, the
that's fake.
government has this big machine, and
Mhm.
it like heats up the world.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey
So
man,
global warming isn't caused by carbon emission. It's caused
yeah.
by the
See.
government with a big
So,
heater.
what about the
That's it.
reusable plastics then? Do they just like they're like we're not gonna use that.
What?
Anyway,
Oh,
I-
Tina Shatty.
and you're
I'm
not.
just
Anyway,
dude. What?
No, not.
So I genuinely actually want to talk about this because obviously it's the first time David Attenborough's been allowed to speak on global warming properly, because when he was doing his documentaries with the BBC, was it? They'd like more
Yeah.
filter him. And,
Why'd they filter him?
I don't know, because it's more political, and so but like basically when Netflix gave him the deal, they basically just told him to say what he wants and get the
I
facts out.
remember the first time I watched Blue Planet with my mother, and like Blue Planet, it was just such a good like documentary, bro. It was amazing because like
I think
most of the world's like animals are in the ocean, and there's so many, they're so diverse, and like there's things that you never would have imagined down
I think that was a fun thing to learn back in school when we watched it. Like now you have more like seeing, well, geography at least, seeing like the slums of Durami or whatever it's called, those places.
there. See, with
I don't
slums,
know what
I
it's called.
don't really care about slums. Like, okay, like say if I was given the
no.
choice,
Oh,
this
no.
may sound really bad. If I was given the choice to choose between donating to an endangered animal or to starving African children, I would choose the endangered animal because there's already a lot of humans in the world, like 7 billion of them, and
Mm.
endangered animals, they're gonna die out, bro. They're the species, and it's all humans' fault. It's like we need
Alright.
to put this to like
So-
correction, you know?
Okay, so you know about the Humans Rights Act, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think that animals are more important than humans? And would you say that you'd rather
I think
forget about?
no, okay. I feel like humans, we are very intelligent, but I feel like we've been selfish a lot, you know? We've been cutting down these animals' habitats, but animals also have a right to live. They may not have human rights, but they still have rights to live and have their habitats and not have it all cut down and be endangered because some stupid
Yeah.
poacher wants to kill them and sell their like carpet thing.
Yeah.
Sell
So
their fur for
in
carpet.
in that case, then instead we should try and, well, I guess I'd say like make a law that would stop poachers from, well, any poacher that's found would get arrested, and we make more
There is
security
a
on
law,
that.
yeah. I think
No, but we
poaching
should
is
make more
illegal.
security.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we should make more security on like finding poachers and stuff. Um,
I
and
don't
Yeah,
then
think it's as easy as that.
and like, cause I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like, yeah, the animals are still, but I think it's still good to help support starving children. Maybe not adults, because
starving
adults,
African children.
not just like starving children just
No, I'm
everywhere.
just
Because
saying.
children, for children, it's like they don't have a choice. Adults, I get it. They've made, well, they may have made decisions, but for children, I mean, I guess if it was like to make a choice, I'd go 50-50 on both animals and the children, or animals and
Yeah, but it's like if you
starving
had to
things.
choose one, which one would you choose? Like if you had
I
to
don't have
choose
to
one.
choose one. There's
No,
no,
no, if you
there'll
had
never
to.
be a time in my life where I
Well,
had
it's
to
a
choose one.
hypothetical.
No,
Well,
but I'm just saying if you did have to choose one.
well, I guess I'd go people, I guess, because
Why would
if
you
you
go
think about it,
people?
because like I'd rather see an animal die than a human die. I know that sounds bad, but
Yeah,
if there
but
was a
guess
little
what?
child
These
if there was a little child, right, who like some guy got a
Mm.
gun and he was like, all right, who's gonna see a whale get shot or a little kid get? Right? I'm gonna say the whale because I don't want to
but
see a
that's
little
not the
kid get shot
situation.
down. But
No
it's the same.
kids are getting shot.
Well, no, but
These
I'm saying
animals are endangered, and it's all the humans' fault.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
human species. They are ruining the planet.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying that because of you said hypothetically, if I had to choose between one or two, which one would I choose? Which means I can't make the choice to do both, which means it'd have to be a situation where I literally won't be able to. So it won't be anything of giving them money. Because if I was to give them money, I'd be able to split it 50-50. But I'm doing on if it was a hypothetical, it'd probably be something that I just can't decide. One of them has to live. And I'd have to choose like people on that side. But if it was to like something like, oh, to stop what you call it, to stop the
Animals.
habitats getting destroyed, yeah, habitats getting destroyed and stuff, then yeah, I'd help with that. I'd help with both of them, and I'd make sure to stop. But
Yeah.
hypothetically, people, that's my choice. That's how I do.
All right. So,
Sam, what's your opinion on this?
well, I was going to try and swing it back around to the actual topic, global warming.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right. So, as you were
Go on.
saying, like with the humans ruining the planet, in the documentary, the David Attenborough one, you know Chernobyl,
Yeah.
obviously. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
obviously it was completely destroyed because of the radioactive waste. But when humans left, like
Yeah.
if you go back to Chernobyl now, it's all like lush green. And it just shows that like humans are the main cause of the planet suffering. If you get what I mean, it was really
Yeah.
sad
Yeah,
because
I agree with
there
that.
was like animals everywhere. It was really nice to look at.
I mean, yeah, because that's what's happened. Humans want to make things more efficient and faster, and to do that, they've had to do things that cause harm to the environment.
Yeah,
Which I
I
mean,
think there
they
needs
didn't
to
have to,
be.
but it's that thing with greed of like people get, I guess, greedy or more just want things to be easier, so they use things like factories and stuff just to make energy go faster.
yeah, because it
Which
benefits them. It's not.
yeah, it doesn't benefit the
With
environment, but
yeah, with money comes like I feel like money kind of corrupts people to a certain extent. Not like make them full out evil, but like corrupts them in a way that they focus more on the business side of things. Like
yeah,
say
they don't
someone
see.
like Jeff Bezos, he's like rich. He could literally like even even not for global warming, just like with starving African children, he could create like an entire water line that would like provide water and food for all these people. And then that's one less problem that you have to think about. There are so many billionaires in the world right now that they could like start helping people like this. I know there are some things, but it's usually charities and things that are made by other people that aren't billionaires. And billionaires are always focused on the business side of things. And it's like if you can get rid of like the human issues and you can start like improving on like say electric cars and EN or whatever you call it, like renewable fuels and stuff like that. If you can like take different steps, but like kind of big leaps, then you can like start improving things. And it also helps like just in the long run with like electric and stuff like that. It just helps in general. It's more efficient and it doesn't create like carbon emissions everywhere, you know?
Right, so oh, what's my train of thought? No. Oh wait. Let me think. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I to continue last year thinking. I think that's how you said, like, if we just work problem by problem, because I think the issue is that we're trying to do everything at the same time, which is, I mean, if the billionaires helped in, probably it would be done, but for people it wouldn't work. And I think if we just kind of worked one problem at a time, it'd make things easier. Like starting off with the children, then they wouldn't have to go and work at other factories that cause carbon dioxide emissions. And then if they stop working at those factories, that means we can move to renewable energy instead of them working at the factories, and then boom,
Right,
stops
right.
global warming. Well, it wouldn't stop it.
So I remember what I was gonna say. I'm gonna sound really crazy when I say this because it does sound really dumb on the surface, and even when you read into it, it's a bit. But it's like I think I've been thinking about like an industrial halt where all the like big companies like Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, and stuff, and Google just put a stop at like say a couple years of just complete stop of like manufacturing new like new phones or new piece of technology, and all like companies just work together to focus on global warming. Because in the documentary, it mentioned that by year 2100, like the damage is irreversible. But at the moment, we have something that we can do. But like, just all these companies are still going head to head constantly at each other, and I just think we should all be working together. But obviously, it's not as easy as that because you got to think of the economic
Yeah.
side of them, try to protect their own company and
Yeah.
not
I
collapse it.
think like with something like that, it's there's a lot of like different factors that affect into that, you know. Like
Yeah.
if everyone started like stop thing, I think there is enough to go around. But I think humans as a species, they're very content with having things like that act like the content it's hard to explain. Like I feel like things are only changed when big crises happen, like with coronavirus. That's when like that was a big crisis just in society in a whole, and that like caused everyone to come together and actually stay inside. And like most people were staying inside and stuff like that. So you got a mass population of like millions and billions of people to all do one thing. That is what
Yeah.
that's what moves things. That's what gets things in the right direction. So like with something, say if we were almost in an irreversible state, I feel like as it becomes more irreversible, that's when people start to care because
When
people
it's too
see that
late.
it's becoming yeah, people
Yeah.
see that it's becoming more of a problem and people start working towards it because they see that it's an issue now. And that's how you need to get everyone on board because you can't just have some people on board, like all, like say David Attenborough and Prince William and that.
Yeah.
It's like a few people isn't going to help everyone. Not even a famous person can just like say, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this," and everyone would do it because everyone's got different opinions. It needs to be able to affect everyone. And with like old people and stuff that are going to die in their like they're not going to see it in their lifetime. These are the people that don't actually care. They are just
Yeah.
like leaving it. They're leaving their issues for the younger generations to deal with because it's not their problem. I feel like once it becomes everyone's problem, then it's gonna like people are gonna be working
Yeah.
towards fixing it.
See,
And I think,
uh,
yeah, go on.
like I'm one of the people that I want to see people on Mars by the time I'm dead. I want to see people living on there. I want to be on Mars. I want to be able to pay for a trip to Mars, you know. But
Yeah.
if I, it's the point where you just class it as being selfish and being like, well, yeah, I would like that in my generation, but do I also want my kids, my grandkids, and my great grandkids to see the Earth as it is now and like say the Amazon rainforest? It is such a beautiful place, and it could just be destroyed if we don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a big
Um,
issue, to be honest.
and I think the issue is like there are times when celebrity, well, not like like David Attenborough, but there were times where some celebrities will go and they'll try and like go to that wildlife and try and make it seem like they're trying to contribute to something. But the issue with
Yeah.
that is that they end up doing stuff where they'll take a plane there, they'll take a boat to the island, and I get where they're like coming from. But if you're thinking about that, like David Attenborough, he did it where it's on. He didn't have to go out. He just stayed at his home. He talks about it. He probably donates to charity online, and even just letting people know, like if you just like send, oh, I'm just trying to help with charity. You don't have to actually physically go there because you physically going there will take some kind of transport, and when it takes that kind of transport, you're already sending carbon emissions anyway, so it's not really helping anything.
Yeah.
So it's just, if you're gonna do it, don't try and do it for some kind of publicity. Don't try and like go out and show that you just do it. Stop recording and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like with the human species, we are intelligent enough to have all these emotions, and like we want to live in luxury, unlike other animals that just strive to survive. Like we go the step further and try and live in like richness and wealth. And the human species, we're probably the greediest and most selfish species like on this planet. And that's like the issue. Like with a singular person, usually all they'll care about is themselves and the people they care about. And it's like back to my point that like it needs to be able to affect them for people to actually do anything. Like humans, they only care about themselves. Like some people, they'll like do stuff for like other people, but it all centers around yourself. And like with poachers that are killing animals for money, and people that are cutting down the trees, and big business owners that are trying to invest in money that can make them more money. And with the government, they're trying to run their country. And it's all about yourself and how
Mm.
you can survive in the world. And that's the issue in society right now.
And I think the issue is that it's very tough for people to change, especially in that kind of like the big government, like presidents like Donald Trump. There's no way you could ever get that man to not think about himself. He'll never do it, no
Exactly.
matter how much you try, no matter how much you act. Even if he saw that what was happening around the world, global warming, is actually making a cause, well, it's making like a bad effect, he wouldn't care because that's how he is. Some people are just that, they have that mentality where it wouldn't change.
They're
But as you
corrupt with
said, once
power,
yeah,
basically. Like, have you ever seen, like, name me one, like, big world leader that has, like, strived for, like, helping the poor, helping, like, minority groups, helping homeless people, helping the environment, and just helping people overall and not being greedy, like, in general. I don't think I can, to be honest.
I don't think you could. There are people. There's some who have gone close to that. Like they've done a few of those things, but you can never say there's one that's done every one of them that hits all the check marks. It's just
There's people that have like built their career and success off of
Bringing others down.
being, yeah, being nice and helping others. But
yeah,
then, but with these world leaders, they have built their careers up from lies and deception and trying to persuade people. It's all about persuading the vast majority of people to work under what they want because power corrupts people. And if you have power, you're probably not going to help other people because it's all about you.
yeah. And here's the thing that like there's like how you said there are some people who are actually doing stuff to help. Like, because like Mr. Beast, he doesn't really do much for global warming, which might be a good addition
But
to
he did
whatever.
Team Trees.
Oh, he did, yeah. So he has, but basically, yeah. So he has always shown that he cares about other people, and he doesn't do it for views, because,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I think he does it for views, but he does it so that the profit that he gains goes to help the next people for his video. He doesn't do it for himself. He just does it for everyone else. And I think I really
Yeah.
like that, because he always tries to just help out with the community, help out with people, and that's the kind of people we need. It's
I
just...
want to add one more thing on top of that. Okay, so I think I had something before, but like if you donate to charity or something like that, and it's like, when you help someone and you get like the warm feeling inside of like your body, you're like, oh, you've done something nice, you've helped someone. It's like, I think they were saying about how helping other people is also selfish because humans are driven to help other people and other species and things like that and donate to charity because it makes them feel good
Yeah.
and it makes them feel like they're helping. And it all goes down to like the human species being selfish, and that's the issue, to be honest.
I mean, still, it's really tough to get someone who could do that. Like, let's say, if you won $1 million, like if you ask someone, oh, what would you do if you won $1 million? They always say something like, build a house, buy a house, or get some stuff
Buy
for
a
my
car.
car. But you never really hear them say something about helping with
Yeah,
the environment,
donating
because
to
it's not the first thing
charity.
that comes to their mind. It's more
Yeah,
of a back thought. When you think about it, the only time most people remember stuff about like charity and that is when they see like a video or they see something, and they realize like they kind of forget about it, and then they think, oh, let's donate to charity. But it's not really on a human's first thought. You never really think about that first, which is the
yeah,
issue there.
human like species in general, it's all driven by you surviving. It's like whatever makes you survive is the most important thing. And it's just
Yeah.
whatever makes us survive. And what we want to do is affecting a lot of like other species that they can't help themselves. And it's just cruel.
Um. Oh, for God's sake.
You've forgotten what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Bro, we've been like chatting away, bro,
I
and
was
you've had
about.
all this time to collect your
No, I was
thoughts up,
about to say
and you
something, and then you
forget.
started talking, and I was thinking about that, and now it's gone.
See, now we're not in person. We can't like
Yeah.
punch each other in the face.
Like we were doing before, like how
Exactly,
it
yeah.
was every other time. Yeah, totally.
You knock the other two people out so you can speak.
Mhm.
Do you want
You
us to
just
give
made
you
me
some
drift
quiet
even
time?
more further from what I was thinking.
Do you want us to give you some quiet time?
No. Alright, I think
The
it's time we move on
sun
to the
needs
next
some
topic.
quiet time.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh,
So, the we're going to talk about the government hiding things. Like you're not telling us everything that they know, such as, with like Area 51, like keeping things secret.
yeah,
I just think that, I mean, we're all human, we're all exactly the same. It's just because we don't aspire to be a politician or like high up in the government, well, doesn't mean we shouldn't get to know what's going on in the world. And I just,
yeah.
uh,
See, like, are you alright?
yeah.
You alright, mate?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Okay,
get why do
basically,
they? Oh,
basically, okay, a big thing with humans is knowledge is power. With
yeah.
like, if you know something, you have an advantage over someone else, and that's kind of how the government keep people in check. Because if they like
Mm,
told everyone what they were doing, bro, there'd be outrage. Like the entire society would collapse.
Yeah.
So I feel like on a certain level, it's kind of like, yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but a lot of things that they should be telling us, they are still keeping
Yeah,
secret.
it's like with government, when you look at it, there's two sides to it. Without it, the world would collapse. But at the
yeah.
same time, with it, we end up with tons of deception and lies that we're just being told on a daily basis and just being fed to us. There's no in the middle for it. You can't just. Don't like it.
I've always been a person, I wouldn't say like a full-on nihilist, but I've always known that life specifically, like say someone's life, anyone's life, is not like that significant. Like we are all just like little people in society, and we make our money, we do what we want, and we like live and we contribute to the bigger picture, the bigger country picture for the government. And we are tiny in the universe. Like even a singular country, just our entire world is just really insignificant. Like there could be thousands of other life forms in the world that we wouldn't know about, and they're also equally as significant because life is just an anomaly. It's a little speck, and it just makes me feel like I've got to make the most of it. This is like little rare chance. I think it's like the chances of you specifically being born is something quadrillion,
Yeah.
and that is very rare. Like the chances of me being born and me being here in this situation right now is the chances of that happening is so minuscule that it's like, how am I even here?
It's
How am I
Mm.
even living?
yeah.
How am I
It's like
breathing?
not only that, just you can date it back so far. Like say two people didn't have sex, yeah, you wouldn't be alive at this moment right now. Like you wouldn't be who you
Yeah.
are. You could date it back to all the way before humans were even like properly evolved into what they are now. That would just cause
It's not even that. It's
like
the
the Earth
race
being
between
created as it is.
sperm.
Yeah,
It's the egg that gets dispatched. It's the race between sperms. It's all of that. Like which sperm gets killed, which egg survives and gets fertilized. It's all of that. Like who meets. Like whatever you do now will affect you. If you like, I've always thought like if you time travel, you will have changed the future. You could have done the tiniest little thing, and you would have changed the future forever. Because every little insignificant thing that you do will change the future, and that's what makes it like so rare that everything happens. Like the probability chances of anything happening is just so tiny. It's the tiniest chance out of everything.
see, I know Jake has his words against what I think about this, but I'm a big believer in like fate and everything is set in stone, and like how I'm gonna die it's already been decided, whether it's 5 years in the future, 10, 20, like, and I think there's just something that everything has been set out to do, and whether I'm gonna end up working at a job at Tesco's for the rest of my life, that I can't do all about that. Like you can't bend fate.
No, I
It's
agree with that.
I don't know. I think
oh wait, no, it was the
I've
spirit
I've
thing.
always agreed with that. Yeah, I don't agree with the soul thing. I feel like fate, it's more of a scientific thing than like a religious thing. Like with religion, I really don't believe in like religion. I am proper atheist. Like there could be something out there. I wouldn't know. I don't have any proof of it, but I don't have any faith in it. And it's like with fate, it's like it kind of gives me, because I have no free will. No one has free will. It's all like a deception of free will. You don't have free will. You don't decide anything because fate always decides it. Because your brain, you don't really control your brain either. It's all like subconscious things like breathing, blinking, sleeping, all of that. It's all subconscious. Like you've all been trained to do it. And with fate, it kind of like gives me like sense of safety. Like
Yeah,
whatever I do, if I do screw up, if something does go bad, it kind of like it may be my fault, but it was meant to be my fault, and I couldn't have done anything to change that.
yeah,
Like when I was a kid, I'd get told off and said, get my computer taken off me, and it's like, oh, I wish I could go back in time and not do that, so I would still be playing on my computer. But it's like I
But
can't
it
do
was
that.
bound
I
to
can't
happen.
go back in time. It was meant to happen. I couldn't have changed that. and it just gives me a feeling of safety. You know, it's weird.
See, on the other hand, though, when you think of fate, it's like even if you knew what your fate was in terms of your death, like as much as you try to change that, the fate is fate. It's never ever gonna change no matter what you do. So if you try to change that, that is the thing that gets you killed because you tried to change that, and that's why
Yeah.
it's all just a constant line that's never gonna turn around. It's never gonna bend. It's never gonna split.
Yeah,
See, yeah,
I
if
never
you
got
knew
that.
your fate, if you knew
And
your fate, one second, let me just say this little thing.
Tina,
I
write it
know
down
I
so you
like
don't forget.
talking. I know I like talking. I'm sorry, but it's like,
go ahead.
okay, just this time thing. Basically, if you know your fate, it was fate that you knew your fate, and it kind of goes in like a weird loophole. Like you knew that you're gonna die this way, and you tried to stop it, and you're fated to try to stop your fate from happening. It's just really weird and confused. I won't go into the in depths because Tina wants to talk.
Yeah, I never get that because like there's always that question where it's like people say, "Oh, would you rather want to know what happens like 10 years in the future, or uh like I don't know, different question." But people normally say, "Oh, I want to know what happens 10 years in the future," but I don't get that because I think if I know that like if it's like oh in a minute or in like an hour or a day I'm going to die, right? I'm probably gonna have the
Yeah,
worst day ever then because I'm gonna be like,
exactly.
oh, I'm gonna die tomorrow, and I think it's rather like if I die, I die. I don't really want to know when I die. Just
I feel
If
die.
you
like
see life as wait, Sam, you go.
right, I feel like with knowing when you're gonna die is worse. I'd rather know how I'm gonna die because like well how and when because knowing when you don't know how it's gonna happen. So you
Mhm.
just you could try and just make your last hour or day the best thing you can, but
Mm,
like by doing that, it that might cause in the most painful death you could have. But knowing how
yeah.
you're gonna die, you could at least like try and enjoy your life,
You,
if you know
you know
what I
the
mean.
weird thing about that is like okay, so let's say hypothetically you were like okay, how am I gonna die? If it said like if the whatever they said you're gonna die in space, right? Then how? Because
How did you
if
get
you're
to
on
space?
no, no, but like if you like say, oh, how am I gonna die? And it just says you're gonna die in space. How is that gonna work? Because you're on Earth.
See,
See,
I'd
that just
like
wouldn't
Because
to
that's
happen.
know that because
because
then I'd
it's
know I get to go to space in my life. Whether I die in space, but at least I've been to space.
but how does because because if it's like oh you're gonna die in space, but then it's like oh do you want to go on a free spaceship ride? If you just say no, is it just gonna be like oh
Yeah,
someone drags you on anyway?
but yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Could be.
I feel like there's something that will always draw you there, even because it's hard to
I feel
explain,
like that
isn't it?
situation would never happen. If it said you're
Yeah,
gonna die, it would never say you're gonna die in space
yeah, it would
because
never
that
No,
happen.
no, no.
situation,
It's like the
that
hypothetical between that
situation
thing
of
with
you
the
being asked do you want to go to space would never happen because it was
yeah.
never fated to happen.
It's a hyper
It's just like
like how you said with the oh would I if I had one choice between the kid and the animal who would I pick? It would never happen, but it's a
No,
hypothetical.
but I mean, like with the die in space, you, in that situation, you haven't given like a time frame. So y- the way it could go down is you found out you're gonna die in space. The next day, you find out, oh, I've got a free ticket to space. You don't take that ticket, but and then what causes you to die is that you didn't take that ticket, you regret not going to space, and then you forget why you didn't go. You forget that that's how you were gonna die. Well, thought you were gonna, and then you end up taking another chance to go to space, and then you die in space because of you skipped that part thinking it was gonna kill you.
see, I have an up to like a good way to see life. I see life as like a small indie film that you're like reacting to. And this indie film, no one like watches it because it's boring. It's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But you're
Mm.
like in the film. So it's like, oh cool, you get to do the stuff in the film. So it's like if someone gave you the option to see into the future, I'd say no, because it's like a spoiler. I don't want to see a
Mm.
spoiler to the film I'm watching because I'm experiencing it now. and I get to feel everything in the film. It may be shit at times, but that's how the film's meant to go. The film makes you sad, and then the film makes you happy. That's just how life is.
True. Also, if we can go back to the government hiding stuff, right?
Yeah.
I've always like, because I know people are saying like, there are UFOs in Area 51, and China's hiding. Well, they probably are, but not North Korea hiding like nuclear weapons and stuff. What are your thoughts on what is inside Area 51 and what like other governments may just be hiding? Like, what do you guys think in different
Okay,
governments?
alright. I think there's jack shit there, bro. Why would if there was something that serious at Area 51, why the fuck would they keep it on a place where you can just go on Google Maps and fucking find it, cunt?
Yeah, I feel
It
like
is
they'd be
somewhere.
in bunkers.
I reckon it is
Hidden
somewhere in the
facility.
mountains around where we think Area 51 is, like in a bunker in a mountain. Why would they put it
Yeah.
smack down, bam in the middle of a desert, standing out in front of everything?
I feel like it's like a draw. Like, oh look, here's the secret facility. Come attack us. There's lots of stuff in here. But in history there has been like secret bunkers and like secret research facilities. And let's be honest, we're more technically advanced now. There's definitely bunkers like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there could be a bunker underneath us right now. Looking doing coronavirus tests and nuclear missile tests.
Because I heard, there was this really, I forgot who said it to me, but someone was like, "Oh, it could just be that the government made the coronavirus and they're using it as some kind of like, I don't know, like they just said they made the coronavirus, and I was kind of confused
I
on.
have an opinion on that. Right, so with like, I think this is gonna sound stupid, but I think there's a chance that the coronavirus is artificially made, and the Chinese were gonna use it as like a biological warfare type thing. I know it's a war crime, but
there's always a chance,
and it got out. But the reason I think that is because of like the way it develops and it like bites back at humans so well. It just seems like it's been tested and made to work like perfectly. I know
like,
it sounds.
why would people want to do that? It's like
Why
my
would Hitler want to
position
kill
on
12 million people? See?
yeah, it's just the
crazy.
corrupt people in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like okay, this might sound really bad, but I feel like before this goes into like my previous point in like say someone rapes 12 children and they get put in prison, don't kill them, keep them in prison, try and rehabilitate them. I know like with me, I feel like no one's born evil. It's always developed or like mental illness and stuff
your
like that.
backstory, your like
Yeah, I
family.
feel like Hitler at the start, Hitler wasn't born an evil man. Hitler was born just as a normal German boy, and he was like developed, and maybe he had mental illness, maybe something happened to him in the past, but the power kind of like corrupted him, and he had the ability to kill all those Jews, and maybe as a child he was taught that Jews were bad and stuff like that. It's always about children, how their minds can be warped. If you tell a child something like at the start, it's really hard to change their mind because it's kind of like how they're molded. I always see like minds, like when you're born, you're like a clay pot, and you're like molded to like how you're born and how you're raised. It's how you're molded until you become an adult, and that's when it's set in stone and you can't change your mind.
See, I feel like a big influence on kids as well is obviously adults. And when you're like, I could have been born into the most racist family ever, and I wouldn't be in a call with Tina now, and we wouldn't be doing this because you two might hate me because I was racist, but I couldn't have helped that because I was born and raised like that. But obviously, I've also had the initiative to realize, well, like, we are actually all equal. There's no difference between me and Tina. I mean, I'd suck Tina off.
Yo, did you just say that on podcast, bro?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought you said you weren't swearing, and you just told us that you're gonna suck Tina off.
Nah,
God's
that's fine.
sake, you're keeping that in, man. You're
Alright,
keeping that in.
I am keeping that.
yeah.
You
Anyway, I
bastard.
also like, yeah, I think the thing is now, like, kids nowadays have more of a, I guess they think their own mind, you know. They back in the old days, it was more like you follow the rules of your family, you respect it, you don't go against it, because I mean that's just how it was. But I think nowadays kids are tending to, I guess, do whatever they think. You know, there are more kids who,
Yeah.
I guess, like, you know, like sexuality and more. You know, there are more kids who like to explore their sexuality. You know, come out as gay, and they're fine as that. And I mean, that's like that's
Yeah.
good for them to
They've
like
been
do
given
whatever,
the
even if their
creative
family like.
freedom.
And I think that's the thing, because now even if they do get influenced into thinking, you know, don't we hate every other like gender or every other like sexuality,
Every-
the
Mhm.
the- every other sexuality. And the thing is now is that even if throughout your childhood, since you're forced to do that, that's probably the way you think, it can hopefully be that you make, or you like people around you teach you that that's the wrong thing to think, like that's not, it's not right to think that. But I mean, obviously there are those people who still, they won't like get through to them, but there are some people who manage to make through that change and are able to now, I guess, just know that everyone's equal and stuff, and it's
There are
pretty good.
always anomalies, you know. All like in
Yeah.
life, in everything. There's always like mutations and
Right.
anomalies that happen, and they
Cutting you off
just
here.
affect the grand scheme of it.
Alright, so
Okay.
Alex is now ready to join. So we'll probably just go
Okay.
talk
My
about him.
my earbuds are running low, so can we take a break? And then
Earbuds are running low.
Okay, I'll pause
my
it now.
earbuds
Alright,
are.
see you in
Oh,
a minute, I
there.
guess. Bye.
Bye.
One, and we're back. Anyway,
What was the what
My
was the last part
he's
then,
staying
bro?
in. Alright, so obviously Alex is here now, also known as Fridge Touches Things.
Can I speak now, Master?
Yeah.
Am I allowed?
Yes, you can speak.
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
I've been trapped here for days. Been trapped since they started the podcast, and then they took
Shut
ages
up!
to do episode.
Shut up! Stop faking!
Okay, okay.
Alright, anyway.
Speak about what you're actually meant to speak about.
Right, touching things. Obviously, Alex has got a series on YouTube
Yep.
called
Mhm.
Alex Touches Things, where
Oh,
you
Fridge
guessed it.
touches things.
Oh, oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Do you
Oh,
want to
you
explain
ruined it. You
what
twat.
happens in Fridge
Alright,
Touches
so
Things?
I touch things, yeah, and it's cool.
Done.
Right.
Yo.
That's it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing really much.
I mean, you guys, you know, you've got
Put the link in the
secure
description,
content
then.
for a year.
Oh.
Okay, I've got episodes recorded for a year in the future, and they're ready to go.
Yo,
So
that's kind of
Yo,
you know,
I'm
though.
editing a video that's
hit
going up in 5
subscribe.
years, bro.
Oh, yeah, but I've got them pre-recorded, you know, schedule and everything.
Mm.
So hit
I love the
subscribe.
trailer,
You'll
though.
get guaranteed touching things content every Friday 9 p.m. apart from in between series, because
Let's go.
yes.
So hyped.
Alright,
Thank
Yes.
you.
now you've
wow.
advertised. Tell us about your facts that you wanted to.
Well,
No, wait,
basically,
wait. So, Alex is currently, what are you, number 5 in the world for Crash Bandicoot something?
On
Yes.
one level.
I'm one of the levels in Crash Bandicoot 4. I am number 5 in the world for time trial. Well, number 5 on Xbox
Nice
servers at least, I
one.
think. Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick at
So
I'm not
so
sick.
can you
It's
tell?
just a very easy level to speedrun, okay?
Yeah, I have a question. So can you like tell people what Crash Bandicoot is?
Who doesn't know
Because some
what
You're
people
Crash
might not
Bandicoot
know.
is?
Yo.
You're yeah, exactly. How do you know Crash Bandicoot? It's classic.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I just think Crash Bandicoot is a B-Tech version of Sonic. Right?
Well-
The only difference is that instead of a
Yo,
hedgehog,
what
it's
are
Yeah,
you
when it was-
chatting?
When it was
What are
in
you
development, yeah, it was
No,
called
no.
Sonic's Arse game because it was a 3D
Yo,
Sonic.
what?
Game. Look, it's
It
fun.
was called Sonic's
Because
Yo,
you-
what?
It's
Sonic
called-
Arse.
it was called
Sonic's
Sonic's Arse game.
Was it
Bro.
actually called that? They actually called the game
No, it
that.
wasn't called that, but it was like a code name or something.
The code name Sonic's Arse game.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's just
Jesus
great.
Christ.
So what
So
is your
maybe it is a
aim in this
B-Tech
game?
Sonic.
You jump on shit and
No,
kill
I mean
things.
yours. Like what
Oh,
do you want
my
to do? You want to get
aim?
like top 5 in like every level?
Nah, I can't be asked, mate. That's
Really
effort.
shows the level of
So basically, I've
enthusiasm in
already 100% the game. I've got all the time relics and shit. So now I don't know what to do with my life.
He's
Right.
I
retired.
gave it
Jesus.
meaning. Now I have nothing.
Right, so
you should,
Crash
like, do a video.
Bandicoot came out in 1996 and Sonic came out in 1991.
Yes.
It is a bit of a
So it
rip-off.
is a B-Tech version of Soldier.
Nah, bro. It's different. It's 3D. Sonic's trash. What's he doing? Why is an hedgehog blue? It's an hedgehog.
Right, calm it, calm it. Just tell us your
Okay,
facts.
let's not get out of hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Linking
yeah.
to Bandicoot facts. That was a good segue there. Oh fuck, I've lost it. Where is it?
God's sake.
Alright. Bandicoots. Alright, calm down. Bandicoots are pregnant for only 12 weeks, right? They have the longest pregnancy of every mammal, and when their babies are born, they're undeveloped,
Wait.
and they crawl in a pouch to develop more.
Did you said they have the longest pregnancy when they were only pregnant for 12 weeks?
Did I
Yeah,
say?
12
I
weeks
meant
isn't the
shortest.
longest.
Oh,
Okay.
right, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
shortest. Only 12 weeks. Yeah, which I also heard this, and these lot were abusing this earlier, right? But human babies are born undeveloped as well. They are, all right.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're
right?
not.
You can't.
No,
They
they're
are,
not.
fam. Because when we
No,
were all
they're not.
caveman, yeah. No, yeah, they were. Right, when we were all caveman, we had
No,
small
they're
heads.
not.
We were stupid, right? But then when we evolved bigger heads, we couldn't fit out when we were developed enough.
So what's
we had to...
your solution to this then? What did you say your solution was before?
I didn't give a solution. I just.
You did. You said wait till they're like 1.5.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
And then just
Yeah.
and then just
Yeah,
take
fam.
them out when they're 1.5.
That's not how labour
'Cause
works.
That's when Megan just told you to shut up because you're being a spastic.
No.
It's
But
just
think
not
about
gonna
it. What do babies actually do for the first year?
God's
They just
sake.
they crawl about. In fact, they can't even crawl at first. They just lay there doing
They
nothing,
grow. They
crying,
grow.
That's what
shitting
babies
themselves.
do, bro. They're developing.
No, they're meant to develop inside, mate. That's the whole point.
They don't
And if
come
you-
out of fucking fully
But they
functioning
can't
human
develop it
beings.
because if you
No,
try
but
to
they should
take it
come
out
out
of
at
the
least
woman,
3 or something.
no, because if you try
No.
to take it out of the woman when it's 3, it's literally it's either right. The woman's insides will be damaged intensely.
Yeah, because
Or
there's a
I
fucking
think
something in the
toddler
humans
baby
should
will
lay
get
eggs, to
messed
be
up.
honest. That'd just
Abominable.
solve the whole thing. Laying eggs
That's
is a good
still not how
solution.
human works. We are mammals, Alex. We
No.
do not lay eggs.
What about a platypus then? That lays eggs. That's got fur.
Yeah, but that's weird,
Well,
bro.
shut up.
That's just like the only
Platypus is
exception.
weird.
No, but eggs are a good idea because you shit it out and then sit on it for
No,
a bit.
it's not
and then it
fucking
But
hatches.
we
pitch.
can't.
That's
we
We're
a
can't
good
just
pitching
idea.
the
become egg
idea.
people.
We're not pitching the idea. We can't change it. We can't just start laying eggs.
All right,
Well,
everyone, all women in the
I
world,
want-
start laying eggs instead of just
I want-
getting
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
Alex says we
Come
should
on,
lay
do your
eggs
part.
instead.
Protest
That's
against birth. Lay eggs. Honestly,
Protest
if we were all
against
living-
birth.
Wait, did you just say protest against birth?
I want to be a fish.
Just
because
cross
being
your legs, bro.
underwater every day would be cool, and you get to lay
Being
eggs.
able to breathe underwater would be pretty epic.
I just want to lay eggs, to be honest.
I think breathing in the
Imagine.
water would suck. I'd rather do this. Where I breathe air and then because fish once they get out on land, they're dead. All right, but
Yeah,
us
that's
we
why we
go
need
into
both.
the water.
Yo,
That's why
he's
we
a
need both.
fucking genius.
We need
Oh,
gills
so
as well as
so we're
lungs.
we become like mermaid men.
Yeah, if we were
Yeah.
both, that'd be cool.
What
If
should
we had both,
happen?
yeah.
Is if we drink water, it can get rid of the hydrogen and then just get the oxygen. Why can't we do that? What they
don't think that-
talking about that?
That's not how the human body works, bro.
Well,
We
it
can't
needs an
just
update. 'cause
change
it's
the
shit.
human body, bro. That's not how humans
Yo.
work.
Well, it's
We
going to
can't
have
just
to
start
evolve,
laying
innit?
eggs and
If-
start
no,
breathing
If
underwater.
climate change happened and all the icebergs melt, we're going to have to learn how to breathe water, aren't we?
Yo,
Otherwise-
guys.
I have a question then.
That's
So
not
if
how it
we
works.
let's say we were able to breathe underwater and breathe on land, do you think people would start building cities underwater?
I think they would. It'd be cool.
Yo,
Yeah.
what does FT mean? Because
Full time.
Megan just said
What?
FT is a big deal. What does that mean?
Why are you talking about this on the
What?
podcast,
I
man?
just need to
Shut
know.
up.
Anyway,
Shut up.
anyway, moving on.
Shut
Moving
up.
on.
I
Moving
need
on.
to
Sam,
know.
next genetic and
Shut up,
No,
man.
we haven't got enough
Next
time
one.
for genetic engineering. Alex, give us another fact.
What? I want to
Oh.
talk about disabled babies.
We're coming up to an
You
hour.
talk about wolves.
Get rid of the disabled and
Uh,
genetic
For God's
engineering.
sake,
will be
no,
good.
no.
No, this can be an extra long episode. Come on,
I'm gonna get
people need the
cancelled for
content. They missed out on last week's episode.
Okay,
Yeah, come on.
fine.
We
Why,
they
what
need
happened
more
last week? I
content.
didn't watch it.
It wasn't up.
There wasn't
There
any.
wasn't.
There wasn't.
There
Oh.
wasn't a last week,
Oh.
so we
Yeah,
need
so
more
that's why we need to do
content
it
for this
longer.
episode.
That's why we need it longer.
Exactly. So you
Yeah,
get
so
to
what's
know
Sam
what
on
we're
about?
on about.
Alright.
The people
Sam,
want
carry
it,
on.
Sam. You've heard it.
Let's just kick Sam out. I'm gonna be the new third guy. Okay.
Bye.
Sam's useless.
Wait, no, I'm recording. Yo.
No,
Alright,
it's
bye.
not-
Yeah. No, what they're gonna do now? Yeah. They can all join this call. But they're too dumb to realise it. I can say what I want here. I love Alex. Alex is my world. Anyway. So,
Sam,
There we go.
Wait, hold
Back.
back.
You took
Sam,
the recording with
are you
you.
trying to sabotage the recording, bro?
alright.
Who do you think you are?
Alright, let's move on to genetic engineering then. Come on.
Just took the recording with
Yeah.
you. What the hell?
Alright, Alex,
Okay,
you wanted
genetic
to say
engineering.
something about this.
I worded it badly. I worded it in a cancelable way earlier. Right? What I'm saying.
For God's sake.
What I'm saying
See,
is if we can advance in genetic engineering and find out a baby is going to be disabled, it's going to have 3 heads, not know what it's doing in life, not going to be helpful to society, you might as well either change it in the womb or kill it. It's not helping, it's just taking up money. What's it doing?
Okay. Moving on. Let's go to an easier part of genetic engineering. Let's go to a simple
No,
part.
but don't you, we
No,
could
let's-
advance so much further if we didn't
Yo,
have
why
to spend
did you
time.
think I wanted to skip this?
So let's go to an easier part of genetic. Alright, okay. Let's talk about right.
Altering
Tina, you
babies.
start.
Let's say okay. So there are some fish in the water that have the ability. They have like the glow lights. That's
Oh, yeah.
the see in the dark lights. They
Yeah.
can see in the dark. They have the same thing where you can like see them in the dark, right? So basically, what people were saying is that if they took the genetic DNA for that specific allele of like being able to see through like the dark, right?
Biology.
And you put that into
Yeah.
something like an they were saying like an ice cream or like any type of food,
ice
really,
cream.
right? Well, any
ice
type of
cream,
food,
bro.
right? Well, any type of food, right? And it basically
Guess
took
what?
over.
Ice cream doesn't have fucking genes, you idiot.
No, but any type of what do you call it? Like they're basically saying like any type of like I don't know, like animal or anything like that, right? So like because the milk from the cow is basically what they're saying. No, because they're saying if you put it into the milk
Such an
of the
idiot.
cow. No, like no, we're saying that the cow
Yo.
basically like when you milk a cow, it will come with the see-through milk, right?
Well,
Because it will basically produce that. When you put
Yo,
egg,
alright.
it makes
So Tina's now the guest and Alex is the new guy.
What? No, listen.
Let him explain.
Oh, it means
Listen,
FaceTime.
I'll teach you. Oh my.
why are you back to that? Oh my
Sorry,
god.
God's
I
sake,
need
just
to-
let Tina explain
Don't
this
I want to
point.
hear about this glowy milk, okay?
So I'm just basically saying, like, if you did it to a cow's gene, so you basically put it into that, like, their next offspring would get the gene that whenever they milk, it would be see-through milk, right? And then
Mhm.
that milk, you'd make it into an ice cream, right? And they were basically saying, would people eat that, and would it be a fine thing? Like, what would you say is like the point where you should stop genetic engineering? Like saying too much, like there's things where it's like designer babies. So basically saying you want to make the perfect baby, have it have blue eyes,
I think designer should be able to
blonde
have
hair.
kids.
No, designing
my
your own
Gucci baby.
with genetic engineering.
Okay, what I say is,
And-
babies aren't fucking Build-A-Bears. Let the baby develop by itself and stop fucking genetic engineering it, bro. We've been
Yes, they
fine
is.
Yeah.
for all these years.
Yeah, no, they're not
We've
doing it. But
fucking
people are
fine.
asking if that would be like what the point is, because they're saying like, oh, if you can't, like some people saying if you can't if we're not allowing to genetic engineer babies, then they don't feel fine of cows being genetically engineered. And cows sometimes get genetically engineered to have more meat in them, so that we can get more meat in cows. Or chickens, they've been genetically engineered because they used to be really skinny back in the old days. But people are saying that that isn't right. So what point would you say that genetically engineering animals isn't okay, or would you say that's fine?
No, that's fine. As
Mm.
long as you don't
Well,
like stick an
animal.
extra head on it.
Right.
Just-
With
if you're gonna do
animals.
it, do it for
still
something
lives a
useful. Not
healthy
just
life.
fuck about making glowy ice cream. What's the
No,
point in
yeah,
that?
we
with
don't want
animals.
see-through ice cream.
Don't they already do it with animals? So like when chickens are born, they make them so fat that their legs break.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's
So
facts.
sometimes they genetically
That's
air it.
cruel.
Well, they're
They
gonna die
yeah,
anyway.
exactly. They say they genetically
Alex.
engineer the
I'm
animals
just
to the
saying,
point where,
God's sake,
like, you know, like,
Tolkien's life is not important. in the
Okay,
grand scheme
with
of things.
farm stock, yeah, with farm stock, I think as
Yeah.
long as they live a happy
free
life
range.
until they get killed, then it's
Okay.
fine because they still live the happy life.
Well, then,
And then
okay,
if
so
they're
what
just
about,
put out of their misery, then it's fine.
okay, so what about then? Because, so all dogs, right? They basically started off as wolves, but they mutated to like look different, and then we started selectively breeding them to basically get those same looks, right? But the issue
Yeah.
with that is since we've been cloning them, some of them have gained deformities, like a
Pug.
is a pit bull?
Pug.
A pug, yeah. Pug. They used to have they used to have like a normal skull structure, where it didn't like crush up to their skull, their brain. But now they've got it where their skull like basically gets pretty much touching their brain, and it's like,
See, I don't
isn't that?
see the point in genetic engineering.
I
to
don't
be
like
honest.
pugs.
But
They're
they
weird.
do it. They do it because people like oh, I want a pug. I want a pug, but it's like, isn't that where we go back to human like
Double
selfishness? Like,
standards, two-way street.
Yeah, just
One of my cats
be
kind of looks like
fine
a
with
pug.
what you.
Shut up.
Just-
I'm just saying,
Your
he's
cat
got like a,
doesn't look like a pug.
he's got a
It
short
doesn't
head and he's got a fat ass.
Wait, if you send me a picture, I'll put it in the video.
No.
All right, I'll try and find a picture. I'll go
No,
take
not
a
right
picture.
now. Not right now.
But
Later.
yeah, no,
I'll get
I'll
one
edit
after.
it
I'll
in.
get one after. Alright, I'll get one after. But honestly,
Anyway,
And we'll have a vote to see if everyone can vote if Alex's cat looks like a pug.
very relevant.
right, I might have an image now. I'll
but
put it
anyway,
in the chat.
okay. But there
if I
are
find it.
some good things to genetically engineering though, which is like putting it in bacteria and basically putting in, like, you know, for people who have diabetes. So you get human insulin from like people who have insulin, and you put that into
Mhm.
bacteria, and then you give that to, well, people with diabetes. So they basically use that to supply their own insulin. So that's good. So basically what I'm saying is like, because you guys say, we shouldn't genetically engineer. Like Jake, you said we shouldn't genetically engineer. There's like not a point to it, but there is some point to it because it helps
Yeah,
for
I
people
get
like
that.
for those certain things. So basically what I'm asking is like, if you said if they found, like, would you say they were only allowed to genetically engineer things that would benefit people?
So, like,
With
say a
genetic
baby was Down
engineering.
syndrome, yeah, and we could we could take the chromosome out, yeah. That's fair.
Okay, yeah. With genetic engineering, I feel like it's more of trying to fix the problems instead of trying to make the perfect baby and just like choosing what you want. It's more of just, it should be just, oh yeah, they've got this disease, we can prevent that, so then they live a healthy life. Not they are brown haired, oh yeah, make them blonde haired, give them blue eyes, and make them male. It's like you just let them like do that because that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
how it was meant to be. It's
Yeah,
that
but how it is for like
simple.
animals, like for dogs and stuff, then we could say the same because the way that we're selectively breeding them is making them, it's making it tough for them to like live their life, so to say. Like a dog, like a pug, it's probably really stressful because its skull is basically touching its brain,
It
which will make
can't
its
breathe
life,
as well, I think.
and yeah, it can't breathe, which is making its life terrible. But people still say, pugs, that's fine. It's fine to genetically
Yeah,
breed them.
stop
Puree.
doing that. Stop doing
But
that.
people
So genetic
people find that
engineering
fine.
in animals, yeah, people find that fine, but it's not
The
because
type of
genetic
people.
engineering in animals is just it's mostly wrong unless it's the same thing that applies with humans.
The
But
type
then
of
you said for livestock though, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah, but
what's the
if it
difference?
doesn't affect
Because-
them,
Like, if it,
It will affect them. They'll still
Livestock are
be
gonna die
around.
anyway. Like they live for about 2 years.
Yeah, but they'll
our
still live
philosophy is
for
very
that short
different to
time.
ours. It's
But the
No,
short time for that short
We're
time
all
that
very
they'll be
chickens have
living,
not got a
it will be a
clue what
life
is
of
going
pain.
on. All right, they just wander about eating seeds, and then they're like, "Oh shit, it's an axe," and then they're dead, so they don't even remember it.
I don't think
I
they
don't think
the-
that's their entire lifestyle.
But that time of living that they have will be in pain. It'll be in constant pain because
Exactly. You want them to live a good
Same,
life
but I
before
don't
they die.
constantly.
well then they won't be with genetic engineering with like that. They won't be living a good life. So why is that different to dogs? I get
don't
that
like-
it
I don't-
will
I
kill
don't
them
like-
eventually.
yeah, I don't
but
think
that
they should
short
do it
moment,
to pugs. Pugs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no.
like dogs are our pets. Don't do it to them. We don't eat dogs.
Yeah.
Except from
Pug
the Chinese.
owners are
but-
So
torturous.
basically,
if you
what
own
you're
a
They're
saying
pug,
is it's fine.
you're a terrible person.
yeah,
Dan
fuck,
So basically what
CDM's a
you're
war
fuck
criminal.
you, pug owner.
So what you guys are saying is it's fine to genetically engineer animals as long as
Yeah,
they
'cause
don't
we
live
get
long. So even if they
something for
suffer,
them. We get something from them. We get more meat. It's more efficient.
I don't think it is. I think that with animals, just let them do what they want. Give them a happy life, then kill
Just
them.
let them
Like,
chill.
yeah,
'Cause I get,
don't
if you
genetic
genetically
engineer
engineer them, I get it to the point where it's like, yeah, to benefit us, but don't do it to the point where they start suffering, like where
Exactly.
chickens can't walk and animals can't breathe. I get the
Give
genetic
them all
engineering,
like
but like
rollerblades,
Yo,
so they can like
Yo, this is
ride
like meant to
around
be a
without
genuine
their legs.
debate, and then you go.
yeah,
Well,
but
if
like
they
for
did
things,
implement some sort of wheel
God's
system
sake.
to chickens,
that's not
they
how.
wouldn't
Do you
have-
have
they
a
wouldn't-
simple concept of how evolution works?
No.
You fucking
Right, no,
retard.
hang on. Why do no animals have wheels or something
Right.
like wheels?
Wheels
Anyway.
were
Cars.
invented by humans.
No,
Pe-
but, like,
Animals don't just develop wheels. Like they
but
don't
they could.
develop fucking
It's a very
engines.
efficient way of
Yeah, why don't
fucking
they
way
just
of getting
get
around.
born with engines and renewable energy sources? Right?
Exactly. Why aren't they just born as fucking cars? A fucking living car. It doesn't work like that.
Cars could become an animal if we like keep adding technology to them. Because they could already
No,
self-drive.
they'd just be
One day they're just
AI.
going to be wandering about doing their own thing. They'll have wild cars.
God's sake.
All the scrap
No,
heap
it's
cars will come to
AI,
life.
bro. It's just like now we're just going into AI stuff, which I don't think we should be going into today. We've
Hang on.
talked about a lot today.
Right. Do you want to move on to the urban legend then, since we're waffling?
Yes, urban legends section.
Tina,
No more
I've been
wheels.
so excited for this segment.
Tina, is it
so
a good
this one, I don't know how. Depends how you guys think. I found it.
Oh,
I found
well,
like
thanks
two.
for putting in the effort for me.
Right.
Tina.
Right, so obviously, like always, what we're gonna do is we're gonna relate. Tina's gonna read out an urban legend, we're gonna rate it on how spooky it is and how believable it is. So, bang.
Okay,
So,
here we go.
it's the stage.
Alright. So, the story that has been told, the story has been told that when you arrive at an old cemetery at night, I think it's somewhere in somewhere in America or Mexico actually. Oh wait, what the hell?
For God's sake!
Ruining the
This episode's a
atmosphere,
shambles,
ruining
man.
the
It's a full
atmosphere.
shambles. It would be so weak, and this
Yeah, but
happens.
it's still good.
Wait, what the hell?
For God's sake.
Wait, this isn't
Bro,
an
he's not
urban
researching
Okay, yeah,
legend.
Yo.
no, I
Found
figured
a
it out. I
random
figured it out. I
article.
figured it out.
Okay, he's figured
Okay,
it out.
so-
Everyone shut up.
Yeah. Okay, so so basically, so the story goes is right. When someone like goes to the cemetery in America, old cemetery at midnight in America, you are meant to climb up the steps and count as you climb. And if you try to cheat by walking over the steps, you are violently pushed down by a force. Once you have managed to make your way to the top, there is more than just physical exhaustion to take your breath away. The legend maintains that if you turn and face the open field by the cemetery, especially if the moon is shining from that direction, a ghost will appear out of the misty moonlight. Without speaking a word, this ghost says that it is the cemetery's first undertaker and will reveal a vision to you. It is a vision of your own death. If you wear a blindfold, your vision is more well, you'll be able to see your vision more. Then the ghost visitor from the other world will quietly disappear. Your mission isn't finished, however, as for
This sounds like a video game plot.
shut up.
Shut up.
As you make your way back down the stairs, you're supposed to count the stairs. You're supposed to count back down from to the bottom. If you count a different number on the way down, it is said that the vision of your death will come true. And if you count the same, it is false. If you attempt to forego the process of counting the stairs and climb up or down the hill without using them, the Undertaker, the guy from before, is said to appear behind you and give you a shove, sending you tumbling down the hill. And it can even go to it slowly scratching your back. Well, like putting scars on, basically. And that's the story.
So is this at a specific graveyard in America or something? Cemetery?
Yeah. An old cemetery. I forgot what it's called. Let me see. The Hondoreto.
Yo.
Oh, that's not the one. Step Cemetery. It is in Indiana, in America. Yeah.
Well,
So that specific one, and it's called the 100 Step Cemetery because of that story. So that's why.
ah.
Have you got
But
origins?
why does it care if
It
you
has no
count the steps?
origins, but there have been multiple accounts of people having this. Well, they said they haven't had like the visions, but they've had times where they've been like they felt scratches on their back after climbing up hills, and that when they've tried to cheat on the game, they've either been pushed down into like their own like vehicle, or they've just been pushed down and fell over and stuff. I don't know if it's true. I
Right.
don't know.
I didn't really hear too much of that because I'm trying to sort 5 different things out at once. But I think so. Just so I know I understand. So like you walk up the steps, you count them. If you like skip a number, you get pushed down. And when you get to the top, you see your death or something.
Yeah, and then you have to walk back down, and if you count the same amount of steps, the vision of your death is true. And then, but if it's not the same, if it's a different number, it's not true.
Okay.
And then
Oh, okay, all right.
so it'd be like, so it's like if you walk down the steps and it was like you saw your vision, and then you walk down the steps and you actually count, and it's true. What do you do then? Because now you know your death, you've seen it.
Well,
But
this
do you know
links-
when?
What?
I don't.
Do you know
No,
when?
you don't know when. It's just a vision. It's just a vision of your death. You just see how you die.
See, this links
Oh,
into what we were
mad.
talking about earlier, but obviously
Yeah.
Alex wasn't here.
It all links in, man.
Yeah,
all
that's what I was
links
saying.
in.
So Alex, for contact, we'll talk about like
Like
fate.
I was thinking when I came with this one, I was thinking like, would you guys go to this and actually attempt to do it?
No.
No. Why the fuck
No.
would?
No, I wouldn't. Surprisingly.
Damn.
Well,
I mean,
I
I
can't
don't
ruin
get
it.
why he
So
cares
we've
about
got- we've
counting the
still
steps.
got to
Is he a
rate it.
maths teacher or something?
What?
Why is he bothered? Why is he
Right.
bothered about the number of steps that you count?
He just
Well,
wants to
that's
know, man. He wants to make sure you're not
important.
cheating.
But why?
He'll
What's he
kill you.
doing?
Okay, we still need
Like,
to
why,
rate.
why is he
lads.
weird?
all right.
Okay,
I'll
so
start
what
off
do we
with the
rate
rating.
with first?
Spookiness.
Yeah.
All right. So for
Spooky.
spookiness, I'm going to say a 3 probably, purely because
Out of what?
10 is out of 10.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to walk up them steps. You could just walk past them steps and go, oh, whatever.
No, because you get pushed if you go around them, don't you?
What?
Do you know?
Yeah, you do. You
Just don't
can't.
go
Oh,
there. Just don't
Yeah,
go
so
there.
if
well,
you-
yeah.
let's
Just
say,
don't
like,
go
if-
near them.
But let's
No,
say if your
go.
family member was at that cemetery, you had to go up at midnight.
No, I ain't digging my family member over there, bro. In random
Yeah.
place in Louisiana
What
or
about if you don't? Though
I'm
someone
gonna
else like.
I'm gonna put them in England where it's safe.
Yeah,
Well, then like.
it just. I wouldn't put my family member there, even if I was from Louisiana in that part of town, because it would be like, well, I'd know about this, and people going to dig the hole would have something would have happened to them. They would have reported it.
Also,
Then
it only happens at midnight though.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would you be there at midnight?
Sam, were you listening?
What? No, I
Oh,
told you
what
I was
did you
trying to handle like about 5 different things.
Oh, bro, that's not as important.
No, another one, and fucking, for God's sake, there's another person messing. Oh, this is all going mental, man.
Okay.
I'll
well,
explain after.
We'll just continue. Okay.
Alright, who's
Who wants
next?
to rate next?
I'll rate. Right. I'm not gonna lie. This thing doesn't scare me. It'll give me like a 2. But believability. I mean, I think using your vision nowhere near believable of your death. Nowhere near believable. Definitely like a 0.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I could see something like your back getting scratched or you getting fallen over. That's kind of believable, something like that. Maybe not by a ghost,
Mm.
but someone may be doing some
Okay.
thing where they're like trying to pull a prank or something, or it's some kind of like guy who goes around and he acts as this help
Scratching
people or
people's
whatever.
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just
like how you said, Jake. There are people
an
with,
epic
with like
prankster.
there are people with like those mental problems who just like are crazy like that, and they'll be like, I
Okay.
think of
So
myself.
basically, what I'd rank it is, I'd agree with Sam for the spookiness of a 3, because it's like, with spookiness is if it actually happened to you, like in that situation, it's like to get in that situation in the first place, it's very very rare, because I'm not going to go to Indiana or wherever it is and go to the
Louisiana.
specific cemetery. Yeah, and I'm not going to go there and like do these random steps at midnight. But then like there's still like, if it were to happen actually, I think I'd be pretty creeped out, to be honest. And with believability, I'd say a 5, because I don't know for definite what's out there. Like ghosts could exist, God could exist, literally any religion, anything could be happening, and we don't know about it because we don't know everything. So there's always that like layer of mystery. Because like there's always ghost stories and people seeing ghosts, and you never know what's right and what's wrong. So this could be right. You never know. It could be wrong.
I just want. I didn't do
Yep.
my believability,
Okay.
but I'm also saying a 5.
Okay.
Alex,
So
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I sort of agree on the spookiness. You know, if it did happen, it'd be very spooky. If it happened to me, it'd be
Mm.
very, very spooky. But
yes.
like, when am I gonna go to that cemetery?
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. That's like such a rare thing.
Exactly.
There's only
I
about
don't know. Some
probably
people do it where it's like, a bunch of friends are gonna go to this abandoned house. Let's
Yeah,
go
it's like
see this
Bloody Mary.
abandoned
yeah,
house.
but
Yeah, and then
yeah,
people
but
actually try it.
If
And
but are
you
not
would
gonna
do it.
travel to America to do this, are we? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going on a,
No,
I don't
I
know.
wouldn't do.
Well, that's all of
Random
this at
trip.
cemetery.
yeah,
See, I was gonna.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
and then-
believability as well.
What would you rate it, Alex?
yeah. Believability, probably a 3. I just don't understand why the steps are necessary. Like,
It's just
what's
how you
going on?
wanted it.
That's the only thing that gets him. He believes
Just the
everything else.
steps.
It's just these
the
steps,
steps.
If
bro.
it wasn't
Like,
for the
what's the
steps,
point?
that
Like,
story would
why?
be a 10 out of 10.
Also, why is there so many
If-
steps at a cemetery? Why is there 100? Like, how steep is this hill?
See, I didn't know whether to go for
Exactly.
this or go for this story about this lady witch called Hannah Krana.
This lady witch. This
She
witch.
she
this
basically
lady
like
witch.
Save that for
she
your
was
next
accused of
rotation.
like having witchcraft because her
God.
husband died in like a really weird accident. Basically, because he like fell off he fell off a cliff, but people didn't believe that he was the type of guy to do it because he was still very young. And then she basically grew like with people thinking that she's a witch, so she started making people like give her small like things like bakery and stuff, basically saying that she'll like witch them or whatever. And she had like a pet rooster.
Why have we
who was
just
a
like
little-
Yeah, I know.
changed
I just
the
said.
What is this
I just said.
story?
Oh yeah, save it for
Before-
your next rotation for Urban Legend. He just tells us the entire story.
Ah,
Yo, you still
I don't know.
spoilers.
we want to make more time for the missed out Saturday day last week.
Yo,
Saturday day.
we've been going for like an
He's
hour and a
chatting.
half or something. Anyway, do you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
wrap it up there?
Special episodes of Three Guys One Mic with the new guest. 1 hour and a half.
I'm the
Special episode.
first guest,
Season
aren't I?
1.
Yeah, the first.
Episode 4.
Right, calm
the
it.
best episode yet.
Alright, so
now,
we're gonna end it
watch
here, guys.
Right
Alright.
now. This is the trailer
That's
for
the
it.
end of
Watch
this
episode right now.
Bye, 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 bye. Oh my god.